Hey everyone, I'm Danny and welcome to Wizardry Workshop. In this video, we're going to be making my next practical pocket book, which is the Practical Pocket Book of Astrology. I've done 4 of these books in the past. They're all available on Etsy. There are free versions available here on YouTube to download and construct yourself. Or if you're a patron, you get the full template downloads. Keep in mind that those are not for commercial use. You are not allowed to profit off of these. These are my copyright. It's a home project for you to make for yourself or for a friend or something. No exchange of money. I've got one more thing that I think you guys are really gonna like if you like the Wizarding Trunk and their book covers. So I'm already selling art prints of the cover and spine for the Accio box on my Etsy shop. And now I'm excited to announce that I'm doing this same thing for all of my Wizarding Trunk book covers. So we've got the Book of Runes right here, and this is exactly how you're going to get it if you order one. It's foiled. This is with gold foil here, and you can see these are individually signed by me, and there's also a seal right here you can kind of see in the camera, and that's my Wizardry Workshop seal. So each one of these has a different color of foil. I hope that you guys enjoy these different colors. I enjoyed designing for them. So yeah, we've got all the first 7 books from the Wizarding Trunk right here available on my Etsy shop. And also, I want to say something about this Divination book cover. I wasn't initially seeing it as having red foil. We ended up going with that because it really stands out. But the color I wanted to do on this in the very beginning was black. Black foiling, because I'd never seen that before, and I thought it would look really cool. So since I'm doing these prints myself, I went ahead and made one with black foil. So for the first time ever, here is the book cover with black foiling. And yeah, it doesn't pop as much as the red, but I think this looks so cool. So if you guys like that black foil, let me know, and maybe I'll go ahead and put a few black foiled versions of the Centaurian Divination on my Etsy shop. These would be exclusive to my Etsy shop because these are not being made anywhere but by me. Anyway, that's enough talking about my Etsy shop. Check out the description box below for a list of all the supplies you're going to need to make this DIY, as well as the free downloadable templates, and let's get started. Of course, we're going to have to print our templates, and there are 2 versions as usual. One of them is for patrons, and also I sell physical copies of these on my Etsy shop, and then the other one is free. So if you're not a patron or you don't want to buy something from me from Etsy, then you can go ahead and print the free version. The difference here is the free version is about 16 pages. It is titled The Zodiac Signs, and it has different information about all the different zodiac signs inside. Whereas the full astrology book is about 55 pages. So yeah, you get 55 pages. A few pages of that are in the back for notes. And then we've got the full content here. So that tells you everything about all the different zodiac signs, plus a whole bunch more information. Assembling these are both exactly the same. This is just on regular 8.5 by 11 letter size paper, and the cover is a cardstock. And then all of the interior pages are just regular plain paper. It will print in the correct order for you to assemble, so all you have to do is print them all double-sided. Now we line them up, and then the next thing we have to do is staple them in the middle. And I have this long reach stapler, which I love. But for this book, we want to set it at 5.5 inches. And the reason is this is 8.5 by 11 paper. So half of 11 is 5.5. If you're printing on A4 paper, it's going to be slightly different. I'm not familiar with those sizes, so all you have to do is take the width of the paper, cut it in half, and that's what you set your stapler to. And then we're just going to put 2 staples right here in the middle. Normally I would use like my folder. I have this bone folding tool that I use here. but we're just going to fold it in half right where those staples are. And the only reason I am not using that bone folder right now is because it's not here. I thought that I had it right here next to me and I don't. So I'm just going to use something else. You can use anything you want to just reinforce that fold a few times to make sure that it's nice and creased. I've done all the same things with the free version right here. And for the free version, you can just use like a paper cutter, a normal paper cutter, or a ruler and X-Acto knife to trim off the white. The size that this needs to end up being is 5 inches by 7 3/4. I have already made a little like cut guide right here for me because I make so many of these books to sell on my Etsy shop. And I put it right on top, and that'll help me measure it. But you can just use a ruler or whatever you want to like measure this to the right size. And then I can take this away and cut. Now for the other side, we're going to line this up, but I've also kind of like modified this cardboard piece so there's a piece I can fold underneath because the next cut is a little bit shorter. So I've just like not cut it quite all the way through the cardboard so that I can fold it over. And then that's going to give me the next cut this way. So right about there. And then the next one will be the width of the book. And that will give us the final book here. If you're doing the not free version, the patron version of this book, you are going to need something a little more heavy duty to cut through all of these pages. You could sit there and use a ruler and X-Acto knife and just go over it several times to get it to cut, but I've found that that leaves the pages a little mangled. Even no matter how hard you try to make it perfect, it's not going to be perfect. So I use this HFS paper cutter, and I cannot say enough good things about this. This thing can cut through stacks of paper like this, and it cuts through like butter. So the way I do this is I will put the blade down, and then I take my cut guide and I will push it all the way up against the blade, slide the other part over, tighten it down, and then I can remove this, and now I know I've got just the right amount measured off to cut my book. So I'll raise the blade up, place the book inside, tighten that piece, and then now we can just cut, and it'll cut right through all the pages. Just like that. And it's a nice even cut all the way down. And then now I can flip this little piece of cardboard in because that'll be our next cut. So there we go. One last cut to make. And there we go. Now, all of this stuff you can recycle, and that leaves us with the 2 finished books. So we've got the full book, the Practical Pocket Book of Astrology right here. Lots of information to read over. And then we also have, for everyone else, the zodiac signs. And there's also quite a bit of info in here too. All the info in this zodiac signs excerpt is from the astrology book. So like this info is in here, there's just a ton more in here. And that is the Practical Pocket Book of Astrology. I had a lot of fun making it, as I always do with these books. The problem is time, and if it wasn't for COVID, I probably would not have had the time to finish this when I did. I hope it helps you guys with your astrological divination. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.